Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. 10 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Tuesday morning, the 15th day of July, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE, 90.9 FM over the airwaves here in San Juan County, New Mexico. If you're listening to my voice in Durango, Colorado, you've tuned your radio to 103.3 FM. And if you're listening to us anywhere else on planet Earth, you've gone to our website to do that, ksje.com, or maybe you're listening through the new KSJE app, which I'll tell you about more in just a moment. So welcome aboard, everyone. So glad that you are with us. Welcome also to our viewers who are joining us, who get a chance to see me this morning. The video is streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. So welcome aboard, everyone. Glad that you're with us, because coming up, we are talking all about the upcoming 2025 Jazz Fest, which will happen this Saturday in beautiful downtown Farmington. Delbert Anderson is my guest this morning, standing by. We'll tell you all about the event and how you can come see some of the great performances scheduled for Jazz Fest this Saturday. Stay tuned for that, coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE. Later on this hour, as we do on Tuesdays, it's our Adopt a Pet Tuesday segment. We'll be talking with Amber Francisco from the Farmington Regional Animal Shelter, and she'll be telling us about some of the pets available for adoption this week, including that good-looking dog on the screen right there whose name is Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper available for adoption this week. We'll tell you more coming up a little bit later. Mick Hess is standing by for Roving with the Arts. He'll take over the studio at 9:06. Classical music coming your way. Our long-running classical music program with Mick Hess today at 9:06. Don't forget, you can also connect with us on Instagram and Blue Sky and X, in addition to Facebook and YouTube. And if you're a podcast listener, a reminder that you can download KSJE podcasts for free. Subscribe. They're available at places where you're already listening to podcasts. So check it out and discover a new local program that you may have missed recently. Also, the KSJE app is now available at the App Store and on Google Play, a way to stay connected when you're on the go for your mobile device. Check it out. You can stream KSJE from anywhere that you are connected. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, currently sunny on this Tuesday morning, 68 degrees. We're expecting lots of sunshine today and warm weather, 91 for a high this afternoon. Partly cloudy overnight tonight with a low near 69. It'll be partly sunny tomorrow with a high near 90 on Wednesday. Then take a look Wednesday night, a chance of rain showers, 50% chance of showers developing Wednesday night into Thursday with a low of 71. On Thursday, we have another 50% chance of showers with a high of 85, 86 with a chance of rain on Friday, 83 on Saturday, and 87 on Sunday with a 40% chance of rain for the rest of this week. I'll be back with my guest to talk about Jazz Fest right after this on KSJE. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center. The most important ingredients to sustaining health and wellness are the resources and tools that help you live a vibrant and healthy life. At San Juan Regional Medical Center, the goal is to promote health by making sure those resources are available. Find the path to the best life at lifebetterhere.com. San Juan Regional Medical Center. Better is our mission, improving lives through personalized health and care. I'm back in Studio A with my guest this morning, as I mentioned, to talk about Jazz Fest 2025. The multi-talented Delbert Anderson is here in the studio with me this morning. Delbert, good morning. Welcome back to KSJE.
Yes, thank you so much.
Good to have you here. And you've been involved with Jazz Fest for a long time, it seems, because jazz is in your blood, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe this is the fourth jazz festival here in Farmington, and very excited to bring this event back with the help of Flo Trujillo and the Northwest New Mexico Arts Council.
Yeah, they're a big partner, aren't they?
Exactly. And, it's what I really love about the organization, every year, just projects, not only the jazz festival, but everything else like jazz jams and maybe jazz workshops that we have sort of year round. Flo always asks, okay, what do you want to do this year? And,
right.
She's a perfect example of how I believe an arts, organization should operate, because it's really what are the ideas, and she makes it happen. So,
Yeah, very exciting.
Very excited about this upcoming event, and obviously the lineup and the musicians that are going to be performing.
Exactly, and let's take a look at the poster. We're showing it on the screen right now for folks who are watching us on video, but for our radio audience, things kind of get underway at noon on Saturday. And full disclosure, you've involved me in part of Jazz Fest with that event at the Tota Theater with a little panel discussion, right?
Yeah, so the Tota Theater, I believe, starts at noon, but for an hour, we'll be talking with myself and Julia Keefe, and we'll be discussing indigenous sort of involvement in the beginnings of jazz. I know it's a really, I guess you could say, popular topic that's been brought up just recently. And so Julia and I have already, been researchers of just in general indigenous like boarding school era, and how a lot of musicians ended up getting into classical and jazz music. So I think we're going to talk a little more on the jazz end of things, because there's indigenous people that were playing with the greats, such as Louis Armstrong, like Russell Moore. I forget his name. Russell Big Chief Moore.
Okay.
Big Chief was his
there you go.
thing, yeah.
Right. But if I remember correctly, your whole part of jazz has been involving Native American music and rhythms and parts, right? As part of your career even, right?
Absolutely. And, I sort of felt that it was something new that I was bringing into the table, sort of fusing these, what we call Diné spinning songs with, just jazz and like modern funk and improvisation, that kind of thing. More of a contemporary take on things. But, when doing research, there was a lot of, just Native Americans in general who were doing that sort of thing once they have the knowledge of these sort of like Western instruments, or when they were introduced through boarding school era. And so
interesting. Were you surprised when you learned that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because the sort of thing that is thrown around is there's a Navajo jazz player.
Right.
But
how new, how innovative, but and you are, except it's been around for a while before you.
Yeah, almost since jazz started, around 100 years. I mean, everything's still fairly like new, close. Right. And so, seeing and not isn't just the Navajo tribe, but all tribes.
That's right.
That were going through this boarding school system. Very bittersweet, but also that's how they were able to acquire the talents of these instruments. And back then, a lot of them were studying with some of the greats, and so. Their education was very top notch at the time, and they came out very talented.
Very cool. And so a really interesting conversation on Saturday at noon to kick things off, and to talk a little bit about that, because it seems to me too that as we talk about jazz and the whole idea of jazz, it's a truly kind of American invention, if you will, isn't it? I mean, the roots go back, but it's truly a form of American music as opposed to other types that come from other places.
Right. And, there was just tons of different ethnicities, the race involved. You think of Congo Square, and scenes doing a little research on that. There's actually specific areas in Congo Square where everyone was like hanging around, and, the music, that's, I believe, where the music really started to take form, and people borrowing different sort of talents and skills and perceptions from one another, and it all came together there.
Nice. Very cool. Well, a great way to celebrate, as you do, I think, every year with Jazz Fest. And so that's the noon event at the Tota Theater, and then things kind of move around to more to downtown as well, right? To Orchard Park Plaza?
Yeah, so 4 p.m. is when technically the music starts of Jazz Fest, and I believe who will be opening up the festival is Farmington's own The Third Hour, which they came from a program that the Northwest New Mexico Arts Council and I started called Build a Band.
Right.
So it was sort of a crash course of music creativity and sort of music business, and yeah, they're still together. They're still playing. I believe some of them are in college now, which is very neat. I think a few are studying music, so
Okay.
that's always fun. And but yeah, they'll be starting off the festival, and
Nice.
they actually have an invitation every year, as well as the San Juan Jazz Society combo. And I always talk about their involvement with Jazz Fest was, I believe, 2018 when Jazz Jam started. We just started a sort of a hangout group with everyone, and started talking about what we wanted to do in the community together. So San Juan Jazz Society is, most of the members, the majority of them were a part of that very first phase of starting to talk about jazz in Farmington. So they also have an invitation every year, and it's a very fun event. And also, can't leave out the San Juan College Jazz Band.
They're part of this too. That's right, exactly. And so again, if we look at the schedule, then 4:00 you've got the third hour jazz band that picks up on the music, right, at Orchard Plaza, right there at the bandstand. And these events are all free, by the way.
Yep,
everybody.
Free.
So there's that. Then at 5:00 is the San Juan Jazz Society combo and the college jazz band, and that features Margaret Clare, our local talented singer from San Juan College and elsewhere. So so there's that going on, and then you're on stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Putting you to work.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And, we'll be backing up Julia Keefe. So we're basically sharing a time slot. Our quartet will play a few tunes, and we'll bring Julia up. And I still don't know what Julia wants to play.
Okay.
but I'm sure it's going to be whatever it is. It's going to be fantastic.
Right.
And she's actually one of the headliners of the festival. And she's from Brooklyn, New York, but originally from Seattle area. I believe she kind of grew up on the Nez Perce, with the Nez Perce tribe and reservation, or she is Nez Perce from that Spokane, Washington area. So,
and she's been here before performing, if I remember correctly,
she's been
too,
here
right?
Twice, I believe.
Yeah,
twice before. So it's she's definitely like a business partner of mine. We're involved in a lot of projects together, and I think it was it's this whole indigenous idea in jazz really developed with her and I beginning to start this. I guess you could call it a network, but she actually developed a big band called the Julia Keefe Indigenous Big Band, which I co-direct.
Okay.
And so we have this actually pretty big list of just indigenous jazz players all over the world. Some even in Canada and like South America as well. So it's a big deal, and everyone is beginning to work and help each other out, involve each other, everyone else on their projects, and so it's a really cool network that is developing that we never thought it would take form, or it's just very surprising that it's working.
Cool to see how it came together and is continuing to go strong and to enjoy the fruits of your labor, if you will, and that'll be a great opportunity to see her perform and hear her perform along with you and your quartet, and that will be happening again this Saturday as part of Jazz Fest, and then after that is another performance by another group called the Natani Means and DJ Uncle Native.
Right.
Okay.
So we're
I probably said that as old as I could.
So Natani Means, he's an indigenous rap artist. I know he's from the Lakota, Oglala, and Diné nations.
Right.
And he's just been on fire, activist for just indigenous people all around, and spreads really great positive messages through his musical art form. I've had a chance to be on the same bill with Tiny Means back in Dulce a very long time ago, and I think that's when I sort of caught eye of him and started listening to his music. He's just a phenomenal rapper gift, and I know a lot of sort of fans that go to these jazz jams, jazz fest, were asking why are you having a rap artist on a jazz festival,
right?
But there's history and many bands that sort of came from that collaboration of jazz and I guess at that time maybe it was a little called spoken word, and which really gave rap its sort of funky side. And so there's a certain time period it wasn't that great or not extensive like a long very time, but you hear bands today like the Diggable Planets or the Roots. They kind of come from that era of where jazz and hip hop were starting to really mesh together. So we thought it would be great. It also adds a really great component to those who love, just rap music, hip hop music. And so he's such a big star all over, and I know the indigenous people just love him. And he also has a very powerful history coming from the great Russell Means, and from what I understand, with his involvement in the American Indian movement, especially here in Farmington, and so. Even his father was just an activist and for just really pushing things for the indigenous people back then in his time, and so it's neat to see that Natani Means is sort of carrying that legacy and pushing everything forward through art forms.
Right.
And so
exactly.
So we're really excited to have him, and he's going to close off the night of the jazz festival.
Very cool. And it sounds like to me it also talks about how the genre of jazz and other musical genres are constantly evolving, and it's not maybe like the Louis Armstrong jazz, which is okay, but it's a new type of jazz, which this rap and other influences in that makes it kind of evolving into the modern era. All musical genres seem to be doing that. I think there's modern examples of classical music and modern examples of certainly of popular music and rock and roll music, but jazz is also there too.
Yeah, it's always evolving. When you ask different peoples, and my mentors always say, jazz is always it's just an evolution of expression, and who knows what it will be, 10, 20 years from now. It's going to be, it's going to keep growing as long as everyone has different experiences and they want to share it, and how that turns into music, I don't know, but it's always evolving.
Very cool.
Yeah,
and exciting, and again, exciting to be exposed to it and listen to it and enjoy it and be able to be there and see these live performances. Any live performance of music, I think, is always special. So it's always great. No offense, radio, but my bread and butter. But I gotta say, a live performance is always worth your time for sure. You said that's going to wrap up the night, but not really, because you actually have an off hours performance too, do you not?
Yeah,
on Saturday too.
Yeah, and we're very happy and excited. The Chili Pod has agreed to host our sort of what we call after hours jazz. There'll be a jazz jam that is hosted from the rhythm section of the quartet that I'm in.
Okay.
And that will be hosted at the Chili Pod from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. So for 2 hours, and it's an open invite to musicians as well. If they know a tune, they're welcome to come up on stage and call tunes. And I think the rhythm section has
nice.
abilities to look up songs really quick, and so as long as it's within the jazz genre and everyone has the music for it, it's an invite for them to, and a chance for them to play with a professional rhythm section. The guys backing up the quartet will also be backing up the jazz jam, have all been in jazz like more than 20 years, and they're all freelance musicians and have played with incredible people, and so it's neat to bring them to have them host this jazz jam. And it sounds like there's also going to be some special items like appetizers.
Oh, right. They've got a special menu, and so that's cool too, for the public to go in and enjoy. If you're not quite done, you can walk across the street and check out the jazz jam at the Chili Pod, the off hours jazz at the Chili Pod on Saturday night as well. But you have a full day planned. It sounds like to me, with lots of different opportunities for folks to come in. And again, it's one of those, I think, if folks can't spend all day there, they can come, they can go, they can come back. It's kind of like that. Just got to drop in when you can,
yeah,
right?
it's fairly open, and so the idea too is the reason why it's downtown. We really want people to go around and shop and look at also the restaurants that are all around the area.
Yeah.
It's a community event, and we really want to have people out in in the community doing things. And
For sure.
I know there'll be chairs there for people to sit in, and they don't have to stay the entire way. I mean, people can come, grab a bite to eat, come back.
Right.
But I would also probably say it might be a smart idea to bring your own chair too as well, because there's
To make sure you have a place to sit,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
or blanket or whatever. I guess too would work,
absolutely.
right?
Or get your lunch and have it there and watch some great music. There's a lot of ways to enjoy this, and I also wanted to mention that if there is any weather issues or anything, I think we're all planning to put it at the Tota Theater.
That's where we'll go back to.
So that's sort of the backup plan if it does rain.
Right. He's looking at the forecast right now, which
Yeah.
shows maybe a 50% chance of rain. You never know, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's good that you've planned for that. But that's not too far from where you'll be at Orchard in Maine. So so that will be good to know. But the show will go on, rain or shine, is what you're saying.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's important as well. It's the Jazz Fest 2025 coming up this Saturday. It's a free event in downtown Farmington. Again, gets underway at noon at the Tota Theater and then picks up again at 4 with music starting at Orchard Plaza Park right there at Orchard in Maine until 9 o'clock or so, 8:30
Yeah.
probably, right? And then you'll move over to the chili pod.
Yep.
Is kind of how that will work. And so we'll talk about that again towards the end of the program as we run out of time here. But we're not out of time just yet, Delbert Anderson, because I want to talk to you about your career and your schedule. And you've been busy, I think, being invited to perform all around the world, internationally. And it's been kind of fun to see your career grow from Farmington, New Mexico, and San Juan County, New Mexico, and take your love and passion for music and jazz with you as you go to these exotic locales to share your love of jazz with the rest of the world.
Oh yeah, I
You had a busy spring.
Yeah, I'm just just floored. It's been a wild adventure, and I never thought something like music could take you this far. Also, just from being where I'm from, when I do meet people out on the road, they assume I'm either from like Los Angeles or New York City, which, makes sense because I think most musicians tend to be from those areas because the amount of traffic and just
Sure.
the amount of, venues that are there, and they actually have scenes,
Right.
very, very well-built scenes. And
Well, I'm sure it's been suggested maybe that you move to a place like that, but yet you don't, and you stay here.
Yeah, it's been told or asked many times of me by just several different people in the industry that I should look to moving. And there's an article where I said I don't think I would ever move from this area because it acts as like a personal practice room for me, meaning there's really no outside distractions. Something that I sort of was speaking with someone that just made a lot of sense was I think when I go out to these places, they always say that I have a unique approach or a unique sound. And when talking to a few of my mentors, they say those who are all from New York City kind of tend to all sound like New York City musicians, and the same with Los Angeles. But when you have someone from Farmington, New Mexico, no one is really. I guess you're not influenced by all the other things around, and I think that was the point they were trying to make. Was I think. You're unique because you come from a complete different place.
Right.
And so I always think of that and use that to my advantage, and whatever I'm playing, I just have the utmost faith in it when I'm playing out there. But the traveling has been just amazing. I think one of the most busiest times was just recently. I think it started in October of last year. I went from Hawaii, which was, I'd never been to Hawaii, so that was really fun.
Right.
I went from Hawaii to India and then to New Zealand. And that all happened, within like a month,
Wow.
a month and a half. And
Yeah.
that was just crazy. My sleep schedule was
I bet.
completely switched around. But
Right.
yeah, and to think about,
And how were the audiences in those places? I bet they loved it.
They were great. Yeah, they had so much respect, and it was interesting because they know that I'm coming from sort of this indigenous side of things, and those places I connected with the indigenous communities of all of those areas,
Right.
even India, which I didn't really think that, oh wow, they have indigenous people here in India, and but they were like sort of ancestors from like Mongolia, and they all lived in the mountains still, and so I was able to go out there and share my music and connect with them. And same with New Zealand, the different indigenous cultures there,
Right.
And it was just a great, just unbelievable time.
Nice.
Like I said, just.
Very cool.
Overwhelming.
Well, and it truly goes to show that music is the international language, because I think, everyone, no matter where they are, what language they speak, can enjoy a performance of Delbert Anderson.
Oh yeah. It's so great. And we learn each other's tunes as well, which is fun. And there's always smiles. Like once you start playing, and when you get on that little groove of things where I guess you could call it like jamming with each other.
Sure.
And there's always some special moments that are shared there that are very, hard to, it doesn't really have a definition, but it like inside, like it feels like, oh, I found my brother, or I found my sister, like, and it really brings people together. Yeah.
Right. Do you look out from stage sometimes and see the toes tapping and know that you've hit a groove? You're on the right wavelength with your audience. Huh?
There's a lot of that, yeah. And some people, it depends. More of the performing arts center performances, people try to behave and sit in their seats.
Okay.
But, sometimes if they're feeling it, I always say, if you want to dance, dance. And that goes back to Louis Armstrong, like, hey, we're in this business for entertainment. And he's like, this is supposed to move you. You should be dancing. So I always, leave that open invitation. And every now and then there'll be someone who gets up, and it gets really fun.
Nice. Nice. So we may see some dancing at Orchard Park as well,
Oh,
is
I
what you're
hope
telling
so.
us on
Yeah,
Saturday, huh?
Yeah.
Very good.
Of course, yeah.
Excellent. Well, it's the Jazz Fest 2025 this Saturday, July 19th. We hope a lot of folks will come down for all or part of Jazz Fest. It'll start at noon at the Tota Theater with a great conversation with Delbert Anderson and Julia Keefe about indigenous jazz and musicians and supporting those efforts, and then move on to Orchard Plaza Park at 4 o'clock with continuous music for basically the rest of the evening. And so you've got a big lineup planned, and looking forward to it. And lots of different types of jazz, I think, too, to maybe attract to different folks as well.
Yeah. Everyone's playing their set of songs that they've been practicing all this time, and so it's going to cover a really good time period.
Right. Nice. Looking forward to it. So wonderful. Delbert, always great to see you and have you come in. Anytime I can get a musician here at 8 in the morning is amazing. So thank you for getting up early to come and see me, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here. That's Delbert Anderson talking about Jazz Fest 2025 coming up this Saturday in downtown Farmington. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.